Hey, Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Rakakadash, double honor to the apostles and others, the great millstone, never well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect out here pushing this truth and sincerity. The lot of what y'all do, we love you, we appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, and Shalom to you. Shabbat Dawadad, Adawam Ratazah, meaning Lord's will, giving you an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai. Right, this is part 2 of the previous video that we have done. All right, speaking about how the Most High is a jealous power, right? And he only wants your attention. He wants your attention only set on him, right? Not set after other gods, right? Not worshiping other idols, right? And when I say other gods and other idols, ultimately, there are no other gods. There are no other idols. I'm only saying that, because we speak in English. That's the correct verbiage to use at the moment, but they don't exist. So you're giving your power over to gods. They don't even exist. They don't even have any power. All right, it's just the Most High. Now, we ended the last video speaking about how the Most High is jealous, just like a man is jealous when he has his woman. All right, so when he has his woman, he doesn't want her eyes to be set on anybody else, right? If you were to go out with your woman, right, any type of man goes out with his woman, you'll see a lot of times females be with the men and they'll be looking at other guys, right? So this is a sign of disrespect, a sign of unsubmissiveness, or a sign of idol worship, and as compared to how so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, which make up the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, this is like equivalent to what you do to the Most High when you seek after false idols, right? So when you hear somebody that's a Muslim and they say you should come into the knowledge of Allah, right? And you start going, with your Muslim friend, and you start going to his family's house and they're telling you all about Allah, and you're getting infatuated with the words of, the religion and the aspects of which they live and things like that. That's like you being out with your woman and she has eyes for another man. That's the equivalency, and this is why the Most High is a jealous God, right? And remember, we are in his likeness, right? When you read Genesis, what does it say? It says, let us make man in our image, right? So the Most High had us be made after his likeness, right? One of the characteristics of the Most High is jealousy. So that disproves any of these, feminists or these women that say jealousy is a female quality. You have actual men out there that say jealousy is a female quality. But it's clearly said in the Bible that Most High is a jealous God. That's a male trait. That is a manly quality. Because why? Men are territorial, right? We get that trait from the Most High. Jealousy is for us. Jealousy is for us. It is not for women. All right. So just like the Most High doesn't want us looking at other idols, or I'm gonna try to stop using the word others, but just like he doesn't want us looking after false idols and false gods, just like we don't want our women looking at other men, right? So kind of want to jump into Kings, because we read all the scriptures we read in the first part of the video. Let's jump into Kings. This is really what I really wanted to get into, because we spoke about how Israel just keeps messing up, right? How Israel just keeps on being sought after, going towards other gods. Or I keep saying other gods, but going towards false gods, going towards false idols instead of the Most High. And before we even get Kings, let me get Isaiah chapter 31. Let me see. Yeah, this is Isaiah 31:1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, right? So Egypt is America. We know that, right? And that's you voting for these presidents, voting for the senators and these different politicians when you have nothing to do with them, right? You're supposed to go to the Most High for help. You pray to the Most High. You don't go in the damn voting booth and try to vote in people to rule over you. Right? Only the Most High is supposed to rule over you, right? When you read in Samuel, the people wanted a king to rule over them like what? Like the other nations instead of the Most High. Most High is enough. But you want other people to rule over you, which is stupid because these are just people. These are human beings. I don't care. You could take the smartest person in the world with the highest IQ. All right. They have the most intelligence of anyone on the planet, and they still can't match up to the Most High. Is there certain things that in the Bible that happen, such as prophecies, they're not going to be able to tell you. Right? Because the men of the Lord are going to be able to tell you, and we get that through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Right? It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, right? And that's here in America, you so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, you seek after these politicians for help. It says, and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. All right? So that's talking about the armies, right? Chariots and horsemen and the horses. Today, that would be the soldiers and their weapons, these tanks that they have, these aircrafts and missiles. You believe in all that stuff and believe that America is a very strong and very large army that no one could, take America down. Because they are many and they're horsemen, because they are very strong. It says, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel. Who's the Holy One of Israel? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. It says, neither seek the Lord. Yeah, man. So, you going after other, you going after false gods and false idols, and you're seeking after them. And that's why you niggas don't get your questions answered too. That's the main reason why you niggas don't get your questions answered, you so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, because you're going after false gods and false idols. All right? But you have a million questions. You get into 5%, right? You become a 5%er, and you try to do all the things that they tell you to do in the God body, I believe it's called God body, the 5%ers, and yet your people are still destroyed. Nothing comes out of it. You go and try to seek Allah in the religion Islam. Your people are still destroyed. Malcolm X is put to death. Louis Farrakhan is running around here taking all your money, and black people are still destroyed. But he's damn near like one of the top dogs in Islam. He has a big ass mansion, a big estate, and you niggas still serving crack in the ghettos. You go all throughout these different ghettos in all of America and all throughout the different parts of the world, and Jake, you so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, you're living in the worst parts of every city and every part of the land because you're being ruled over. But Louis Farrakhan, his ass is lodged up in a damn estate mansion, having women bringing him coffee. He's living like a king. So why are you following him and after Allah, but y'all still living like shit and still destroyed as a people? It's simple, because you're going to Egypt for help and not the Most High. Now we don't have riches either. Now you can say the same thing about us. Oh, well, y'all worshiping the Heavenly Father and His Son, right? That's what y'all say. But y'all don't got any riches. Well, we know in the Bible that that's coming later. That's why y'all claim to have the answers now. We have the answers now, but we know our true reward is coming later. Y'all believe that y'all found the answers to all your problems, which is Islam and Buddhism and veganism. Or y'all all think about these different aspects of life that's going to help you in your day to day and bring you up as a people, coming together, doing another Black Wall Street, making a chocolate city, black owned businesses, Black Panther movement. But all of that shit failed, right? Tulsa, Oklahoma failed. Black Panthers failed. All this stuff is failing. Christianity is failing. Roman Catholicism failing. Islam failing, which comes from all stem from Roman Catholicism anyways. If you actually do your research and you study, you'll figure that out. But the ultimate thing is that we go after false idols and false gods, and this is the reason why our people are destroyed, right? Hosea 4:6, for my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. What is the lack of knowledge? The knowledge of not knowing that you have a power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and that you need salvation through His Son, right? And to come back to Him. All right, cool. So read this chapter. It's 2 Kings chapter 1, verse 1. It says, Then Moab rebelled against Israel after the death of Ahab, and Ahaziah fell down through a lattice in his upper chamber that was in Samaria and was sick. And he sent messengers and said unto them, Go inquire of Baalzebub, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover of this disease. So he's going to Baalzebub, which we know is what? Satan, right? Beelzebub is evil. It's a false idol. It says the God of Ekron, not the God of Israel, the God of Ekron. It says whether I shall recover this disease. So what did we read in the previous scripture? Woe unto them that go into Egypt for help. Well, Ahaziah is doing the same exact thing. He's going to Egypt for help because Beelzebub, all these different false idols and false gods, they all come from Egyptian culture anyways. All nations in the world pretty much stole God's false idols and false gods from the Egyptians, which are the Hamites. And Babylon, right? The Babylonians. These are all Babylonian gods. Right? It says, but the angel of the Lord said unto Elijah, the Tishbite, arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them, Is it not because there is not a God in Israel that ye go to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron? There you go. Same thing. Like the Most High said in the previous scriptures we read. Woe unto them that go to Egypt for help, but not have, they didn't seek the Most High for help. They didn't go after the Holy One of Israel. See, he's saying it right here, right? It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die. And Elijah departed, and when the messengers turned back unto him, he said unto them, Why are ye now turned back? And they said unto him, There came a man up to meet us, and said unto us, Go, turn again unto the king that sent you, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Is it not because there is not a God in Israel, that thou sendest to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron? Therefore, thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die. Right? So he sent the messengers, back to go tell him that, to relay this horrible news, man, this evil. It says, and he said to them, What manner of man was he which came up to meet you and told you these words? And they answered him, He was an hairy man and girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, It is Elijah the Tishbite. Then the king sent unto him a captain of 50 and with his 50. And he went up to him, and behold, he sat on the top of an hill, and he spake unto him, and he spake unto him, Thou man of God, the king hath said, Come down. So now they're giving him orders. They're giving Elijah orders now. This is a man of the Lord, man. Right? They're giving him orders on telling him what to do. It says, Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, If I be a man of God, then let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And there came down fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50. So they got put to death. All right. It says, again, also he sent unto him another captain of 50 with his 50. So he doubled down and did it again, man. After the first captain and his 50 soldiers got put to death, he sent another captain and his 50 soldiers. It says, and he answered and said unto him, O man of God, thus hath the king said, Come down quickly. So now they're being even more aggressive in their approach this time with Elijah. And it says, and Elijah answered and said unto them, If I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And the fire of God came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50. So the same thing that happened to the first lot happened to this lot. It says, and he sent again a captain of the third 50 with his 50. So he did it a third time. So now he tripled down, right? And it says, and the third captain of 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Elijah and besought him and said unto him, O man of God, I pray thee, let my life and the life of these 50 thy servants be precious in thy sight. Behold, there came fire down from heaven and burnt up the two captains of the former 50s with their 50s. Therefore, let my life now be precious in thy sight. And the angel of the Lord said unto Elijah, go down with him, be not afraid of him. And he rose and went down with him unto the king. And yeah, to stop right there, there's a great message to be had there. The first two captains were wrought with Elijah, right? They were sent very proud, right? Very, very confident in their approach, over righteous much, right? Barking orders. There's a captain in his 50, right? Captain in his 50. So a captain is going to be very proud, man. He's a captain. He's a captain to a king's army. A man like that is rich. He gets women, right? He has horses. He has tons of cattle. That's a captain of the army of the king. So he's a stout man. So they came up to he has rank, man. So he came up to Elijah and tried to pull his rank, man. And make him feel belittled, right? And try to make Elijah feel scared. Make him nervous and anxious, and he thought that the man of the Lord was going to bow down to him. But the Most High burnt them up. And then he did it again, and they burnt them up. So they burnt what? It was 102 men, right? A captain plus his 50, plus another captain and his 50. So that's 100. That's 102 men. And then the king sent a third legion, or not legion, that's 100, half of a legion. And since they heard of what happened to the former 50 captains in their 50s, they believed in the Lord and they humbled themselves. There's a beautiful message to be seen by reading that story. They humbled themselves and the Lord spared them. Why? Because they believed and they had faith, whether it be from fear or not. Fear is the beginning of knowledge. So, and we ought to fear the Lord anyways, right? So because he feared the Lord, he was spared. Him and his 50s both were spared. He said, thy servants. He said, let thy servants live. So the third captain in his 50s, they got spared. Why? Because they humbled themselves. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, about you humbling yourself and being in submission. As your woman is in submission unto you, you have to be in submission to the Most High. You can't be looking after other gods. Well, you can't be looking at the false gods, false idols, putting other things before the Most High. You can't even put your family before the Most High. You put your family before the Most High takes that. He's jealous. He's jealous, right? You can't put nothing before the Most High, And I'm speaking even from myself, man. Even for myself, that's things that I have to work on as being a prophet or a man, considering myself a man of the Lord. So what more you people, man, out there? All you do is put yourself and your family before the Most High, right? And this story is beautiful because it reminds me of the movie Nope, right? It's a horrible movie, but it had a couple good parts in it. In order for you not to be killed by the aliens, I guess, right? Which we know is the chariot of the Lord. UFOs are the chariots of the Lord. In order for you not to be killed, you had to do what? Humble yourself. You had to look down at the ground. You couldn't even look up at the chariots, and the chariots would kill you, would spare you. All right, so that's beautiful because in this story, that's what the third captain in his 50s did. They humbled themselves. They thought not to talk bad against a man of the Lord, right? They had faith and they believed and they humbled themselves. And remember, it said he fell on his knees. So since the captain fell on his knees, it's similar to the movie Nope, when they would like fall on their knees and look away, showing humility, showing servitude, showing submissiveness. Showing, giving power unto the Heavenly Father. Right? So we'll read the rest of this and we'll close it up. It says, and he said unto him, thus saith the Lord, for as much as thou hast sent messengers to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron, is it not because there is no God in Israel to inquire of his word? Therefore thou shalt not come down off that bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die. So he died according to the word of the Lord, which Elijah has spoken. And Jehoram It says, and Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, reigned in his stead. Right, so that's the end of that, man, and that's the problem with you so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. You choose other things. It don't even have to be religion. It could be your family, it could be your car, right, your dog. It could be playing too many video games, TV shows, and you never having time for the Lord, right? You never having time for the Lord. Your job, because you're out there chasing that bag, so you put in overtime when you should probably be studying or doing videos or going to class, going to camp and things like that. You're not supposed to put anything in this world before the Most High, man. The Most High is a jealous power. We read that already. So with that, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, great millstone, ever well. Peace and salutations to the whole full leg out here pushing this truth and sincerity. The wonderful what y'all do. We love you. We appreciate you. We spirit Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. And shalom to y'all.